So I thought about starting with vaults, you know, but I decided we'd go with landing first, as that's probably the first thing you want to know. Otherwise, you know, have a lot of wasted time and pain. So we're going to go over the breakful, PK roll basically, and the tap landing, and also a bit of sort of body position on precision foot jumps is handy before you start doing them. So this is what the first episode's going to be. Basically, with the tap landing, as your feet touch the ground, you basically start leaning forward onto your arms, and your arms take half of the stress. So if you're landing really hard on your feet, you need to be leaning more into it. If you're hurting your hands, you need to be using your feet more. So let's have a look at a bad one and a good one, or a couple of bad ones and a good one. That was a bad one. See, with that, didn't have enough weight on the front. Now I'll do one with too much weight on the front. Now a good one. Okay, so now we're going to look at the PK roll, or the breakful, as I learned it in judo. Just going to put the camera on my head and show you the kind of position your body needs to be in. You need to come down like this, and you need to basically roll onto this shoulder. Okay, now I'm going to show you that, but so you can see my body, and then I'll demonstrate a roll off the ground, and then probably a roll from jumping. Demonstrate a bad roll, although that probably hurt my hip, because I usually feel a bad roll. So yeah, I'm going to try and avoid hurting my hips, but also show you a bad roll, which is quite a hard thing to do. You know? We'll just see what happens. See that second one, that was a bad roll. You see the snap? See the snap in the hip, hit the hip? It's not what you want. You want to see a streamlined, fluid move, continuous. Okay, so now we're going to look at a jumping roll, I guess, and maybe a bad roll, because I haven't really recorded a good bad roll, but that's pretty good. I haven't got a bad roll yet. So running roll is actually probably easier to practice, but the higher you go, the more strength you need in your legs, otherwise you can't really return from the drop. What I'll do is I'll demonstrate the first part of the roll, but not actually the roll, and I'll show you the point where you need to have strength to do bigger jumps. When you land on your feet, if you can't do this with your legs, when you land, if you can't pick up again, then you're going to be in danger of fucking your legs up. So you need to be able to do that. The bigger the jump you're doing, the bigger the drop, the more speed and power you need to know your leg strength. So we'll just demonstrate that quickly. So you saw the spring up from the knees. You do that just before you roll. You don't just drop, land on the ground and then roll. You jump, drop, land on the ground, your legs extend back to straight almost, and then you do the roll. This basically, you know, spreads out the weight, and your body acts as a spring so that you don't have the full downward momentum that you did receive from the drop or the jump you cancel that out with the spring leg effect, and you basically lessen the impact downward. And this can help if you're on roofs that you're not sure of, the integrity, the strength of the roof, whether it's going to break, or if you just feel like you want to roll. I personally don't like relying on rolls. I like the tap landing because you can basically sort of get out of it quicker. It's more, seems to flow more. That's why you see the tap landing in my videos all the time. And the rolls are usually when I'm not, I want to make sure that when I hit the roof I'm not going to go through the roof, so I'm spreading out my weight, because that's what a tap landing does. It just basically deadens the weight, but a roll sort of spreads out your weight and spreads it across the rolling area of what you do. So we'll look at a running roll now. Basic principle of a roll is to roll across both your shoulders. So remember that, spread the weight across your shoulders and you'll be fine. So lastly today is the landing on precision jumps and general roof jumps to a wider area, and it's basically the same as a roll. That snapping thing where you snap your leg back straight as you land and then go into the roll, that's essentially all you're doing here. So you need to apply the same methodology from the roll, but just without the roll. Once you get this one, the roll will come quite easy. So we'll have a look at a few good and bad. That's a bail out, by the way. If you're falling too short of your pull, you bail out the back. I'll show you a front bail out. They're just safety precautions so that you don't slip. That's why I'm teaching you how to land first, because I'm sure you will want to learn the moves, but you need to learn how to land, because your body won't last forever. You've got to say. So now we'll show you the bad one. Well, no, technically those first two were bad ones because you're bailing out. So that's a kind of good reference on what's a bad one. Good one. Your good one, you should land for at least a few seconds, be able to hold it. And with the precision, your feet need to extend to the jump. You need to also get the right arc, which I'll show you, a good and a bad jumping arc, because you don't want to jump to it, you want to jump up and across to it. So the first one is closer to what you want to be doing than the second one. The second one is just basically jumping across. You need to go up and across. So I'll show you another good one. Also, you want to swing your arms for momentum. You want to practice these moves quite a lot. It's just because you can do it once doesn't mean anything. You need to be able to do it every time, any time. And for me personally, without even stretching, I practice, because you can never know when you're going to need it. If police try and chase you. So that's basically landing, and I'll probably be doing vaults next, because they're kind of the next simple thing. And we kind of really covered the precision in this one anyway, so might do another one on it, but probably just about it. Have a good day and don't break anything, otherwise it will hurt.